Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, August 25th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We have some impactful announcements for tomorrow night's Reverse Aging Health Call. That's at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. All of us are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. There isn't a second that goes by while we're in these bodies that we are not manifesting something. There isn't a second, even a microsecond that goes by where we're just manifesting something. Now, whether we're conscious of it or not, we have manifested everything in our lives, from the shoes on our feet to the amount of money in our bank accounts to the quality of every relationship in our lives. And the truth is, we cannot stop manifesting. We are all super powerful manifesting beings that exist eternally, which is always the gods within these bodies. So, if you were to accept that, you truly have this awesome power, what would you spend your time focusing on creating into this world? Most of us are unconscious that we manifest every split second. And most people don't believe that. They think that they're the body. As we move through our day, and you move through the day, just notice if you are on automatic pilot, or are you truly present to each moment of your life. Automatic pilot means we go through life almost robotically. We're in a discipline, an agenda, and a comfort zone that we follow out the rest of our lives. We do everything accordingly. We don't. It doesn't mean that we know it, but we get caught in this redundancy. So we keep, and then we move. And we don't recognize it because we become so comfortable with it and so attuned to it. But that's what happens. We get up a certain time, most of the time, every morning, same time. We get out of bed the same way. We do everything the same every single day. Years and years and years until we leave the body. So autopilot, automatic pilot, or being truly present to the moment, to each moment of your life. And pay close attention to your mind. Is it truly here right now? Or if it is still bouncing back into the past or future, what is it doing? Is your mind truly here now, or is it bouncing back into the past or future? Awareness for all of us is the grand master key to manifesting and training our minds to remain in the present moment. Awareness is the grand master key to manifesting and training our minds to remain in the present moment. We all have the ability to be truly conscious in every moment. And as we dive consistently into this stream of pure consciousness, it naturally tends to grow and expand. When we have brought this light of consciousness into the darkest closets of our being, illuminated every tiny hidden aspect inside ourselves, then we will have reached a very significant level of enlightenment. Everything will manifest easily for us, and life will reward us greatly. We will see the most miraculous things naturally manifesting for us at our smallest will. For instance, let's say that you're in awareness, right? Your awareness at every moment. The mind is in the now, okay? Not bouncing back and forth from the past and the future. And you are aware of who and what you really are, that you're not the body, you're God in the body, okay? A soul with a God within the soul. You want to get really detailed. And what do you think your power is at that stage of awareness? You could literally heal your body of any anomalies, whatever it may be. You could heal it and literally keep it healthy. You could eliminate, and here's the tough part, see, because we have so many that are asleep and basically in total denial of their true existence. They have no clue that they have that power. But those of us who begin to awaken more and more and more, and through the heart mind understand that we've always had this power. It's not something that we acquired as we go through life. It's something that is built into the gods that we are. The more we are relaxed into our essence, or the being that is here now, the easier it is to consciously choose what we manifest into our lives. Choose to stop believing that you are a limited ego mind trapped in thoughts of yesterday and tomorrow. You can choose to stop believing that. Simply be aware of the truth of who you are. Know that you are not just a limited body mind or any of the beliefs you have about it. Know that you are this cosmic eternal consciousness that will never die. And you automatically increase your ability of what you wish to consciously create. Automatically increase your ability of what you wish to consciously create. Living life from this perspective becomes insanely easy to create anything you want. When there is realization of who you truly are, there is no doubt or fear attached to who you think you are. You become this deeply peaceful being who is truly at home within your own body-mind and naturally become the living master of your life. The fastest way to become a conscious manifester is to daily visualize that what you want to manifest has already occurred in the physical world. The fastest way to become a conscious manifester is to daily visualize that what you want to manifest has already occurred in the physical world. It is important to feel it. Not just want it, but to feel it in the heart mind. See it and believe it. Whether you are aware of it or not, you're always sending out a manifesting vibration into the universe that boomerangs back to you in some form. The more conscious we can become of what frequency we are sending out, the easier it will become to finally attune it to a higher vibrational energy where we will naturally attract each desire we have with joy and ease. Now be aware of the quality of energy you are putting into the desires you want to manifest. Notice if you are focusing on having what you want from a place of hoping it will occur or really trusting it will actually show up. That's a big difference. Notice if you are focusing on having what you want from a place of hoping it will occur, or really trusting it will actually show up. By creating awareness about how conscious you are about your intention, you bring more energy and power to it. It's best to start with knowing what the experience is that you most want to have when your greatest desire has manifested. And from this place, there's no ambiguity about what you're about to receive when you arrive at your goal. Perhaps you're just simply humming along in life, living in a somewhat comfortable existence, and you haven't yet thought about the kind of day you want to manifest today. So you just stop and think about this. How would you like to feel at the end of the today? What would you have liked to accomplish? What kinds of interactions and conversations would you like to have had? When you practice being more conscious of who you are being right now, it's easier to steer your life towards the life you want to manifest. When you have clarity about what you want on your inner world, it acts like a blueprint that manifests itself into your outer world. When you are clear about what your heart really wants, you naturally create it. It must find some way to flow into your life. This is the abundant, magical nature of this universe. When we are unconscious and not clear on what we want, this universe tends to give us apricots when we wanted peaches. Manifesting becomes more hit or miss science, with a vague vision of our greatest desired outcome. It's not a bad thing, yet you may just get a little of this and a little of that. This mind of ours is our super manifesting power tool, and it is always drilling its way through this life and creating something. Why not redirect it to the most wonderful positive thing? Whenever the mind wanders to the skeptical side of the tracks, simply observe the thought pattern and slowly back away. If it continues to perpetually move down the same or similar negative path, you'll need to go deeper inside yourself to uproot its pattern. Start with investigating what positive outcome you really want to achieve by continuing down that old negative trail. Perhaps it's a cry for support, a hug, fatherly advice, motherly love, or just getting anyone's attention. When you get that deeper need met on a daily basis, that reoccurring pattern will instantly discontinue. When we are practicing being more conscious and clear about what our deepest intentions are for each day, we start being more aware of what thoughts are flowing through us in every moment. We stop allowing for negative, complaining thoughts to be vocalized, and we become laser focused on having only positive, creative thoughts about our intentions. With awareness, we can effortlessly step out of an old stream of negative thinking and rechannel our minds into an inspired flow of positivity. When we are super clear, we can also relax deeply into the feeling of what we want. This is like sending out an ultra-strong radio signal to the universe that is picked up and sent back to us in the form of our manifestation. As we constantly use the mind in a focused, concentrated way, we realize how deeply this universe is listening to us and constantly answering our request in the form of a physical manifestation every day. Whatever it is that we deeply desire to manifest into our lives, it can be ours with joy and effortless ease. So you can choose to do this in the following week. It will help you increase your ability to become a super powerful conscious manifester. Increase your level of consciousness every day this week by bringing your attention to what is conscious inside you right now. Increase your level of consciousness every day this week by bringing your attention to what is conscious inside you right now. Take 10 minutes every day to slow down and notice what is looking through your eyes. There's something looking through your eyes, believe it or not. When you stare in the mirror and you look into your eyes, who's looking back at you? And I know that sounds strange for a lot of people, but it is a fact. Who or what is looking back at you? What is conscious inside you right now? So by taking 10 minutes every day to slow down and notice what is looking through your eyes, listening through your ears, and thinking about what it's seeing and hearing. This is an inward experience that will soon bring you into a calming sensation. Bring your awareness through your innermost feelings, thoughts, and ideas back to where is the source of these thoughts coming from. Always turn your awareness back into itself. Like a mirror reflecting itself with another mirror, bring your attention continuously into that which is simply aware. There is no better way to increase your consciousness. When you practice this for days on end, your life will change in the most outrageous ways. You'll become present to this divine being that you are and that everyone is. Consciousness will grow inside you, and you'll start becoming more loving, centered, and free. It's pretty common sense when you discover that you are not the body. So what are you? What's in that body that you truly are? What's looking at you? Right? There is a second stage to this assignment that will skyrocket your manifesting ability. As you go through your day, reboot your mind. How to do this is to bring your awareness to noticing the type of experiences, interactions, and feelings that you are having. Even every so often, ask yourself this powerful reboot question. What am I focusing on right now? What am I focusing on right now? You will be astounded at how this simple question can refocus your energy on what you want versus falling back into the pre-programmed thoughts that are keeping you stuck, unloved, wounded, and broke. When you find out what the mind is focusing on, simply ask the mind to return to focusing on what you most want to manifest into your world. This question will center you, ground you, and support your manifesting vibration. Imagine right now that you have a magic wand in your hand that will grant any wish you desire. You just wave this wand over your life, and all of your greatest desires have just manifested into your life. Everything you wanted is now yours. Everything. You have your ideal house, income, body, relationships, love, and even world peace. How do you feel now that everything your heart desired has now manifested? Practice this exercise every morning, spending at least 10 minutes focusing on all the amazing things and situations you've manifested and how you feel. Imagine that your every desire is now a living part of your reality. Notice how you feel different inside now that this desire is not something you have to go out and achieve to attain. Doing this enlightening exercise daily will increase your awareness and create an energetic blueprint for your entire day where your mind and body will automatically align with this vibration, resulting in the easy and effortless manifestation of your desire. The ego will not allow us to see the reality because it says, I am separate. The moment the tree thinks it is separate from the earth, it starts dying. The tree has to know that it exists only as an extension of the earth. Then it is nourished and fed by the earth. Only then is it at home also. We all know that this world and this now is filled with people who feel they've lost their way. Many are facing divorce, drowning in bills, cannot sleep, massively overweight, deeply depressed, eating dead food, deeply unhealthy. Perhaps they've lost a family member, their soulmate, or even their house, financial security, or worse, the hope for a better future. And life can get so intense at times that some people feel they have even lost their minds. I've witnessed this. I've witnessed this with healers, spiritual healers, where they spent their whole life healing people, and then something got into them or they manifested and they thought they had gone nuts. They were totally convinced they could not be talked out of it. It comes down to it. We have all experienced some form of loss. Yet, whatever it is that we lose along this grand adventurous journey, no matter what it is, we must choose to also realize that it is a precious gift teaching us the sacred art of letting go. A lot of people can't let go. They hang on to things their whole lives. The ultimate truth here is that we cannot take anything with us when these bodies cease. There are no cell phones, emails, bills, or car payments, or bank accounts where our gods are free to go. There is love, pure, deep, eternal love, and an eternity of time to enjoy it. When these bodies, which have served us, and they are now, its time on earth is over, is done here, we take nothing with us but own life experiences, love and consciousness. So our life experiences, love and consciousness, are the most precious items that we are carrying right now. So doesn't it make sense to choose to make them our number one priority over all of our ego's needs, fears, wants, wishes, demands, and desires? We will find our lives suddenly becomes much easier, sweeter, and simpler to live. We all need some guiding light to show us where to go in this life. This greatest light that any of us could ever discover is not in the outer world, yet deep inside, at the very core of consciousness, which is the God that we are. The light of pure awareness. If you look close enough, you'll see that it has a direct, consistent connection that is flowing to and from the actual God source itself. You could miss experiencing this amazing connection because you're paying more attention to your thoughts about it instead of the actual light of pure awareness. Instead of the actual light of pure awareness, simply place your attention only on pure awareness and nothing else. See what happens. Try it for the next few minutes. Notice if something shifts and how spiritually connected you feel inside. So you're placing your attention on pure awareness. Often, the moment when we forget about our brilliant light of awareness, the mind instantly takes over and tends to point itself towards its dreams. It wants to achieve things to be happy, successful, fulfilled, or heal negative experiences from the past, as it believes these are the main reasons why we are not happy today. Yet these aren't the real reason why we continue this habit of remaining caught in some emotional gutter. The real reason why we remain stuck in yesterday's old news is because we haven't learned how to create a solid, trusting connection with the God source. The source of absolute, deep, eternal love. We've forgotten that the God source is real, that it's instantly available, and that it's here right now. Super easy to access. And the great golden secret, how we can all truly enjoy this precious life, again, we cannot fail at anything. We cannot fail at anything in life when we are feeling connected with this great, deeply eternal, loving source within. When we are feeding our soul's natural connection with it, we relax and start asking ourselves deeper questions like, and we've all done this, why am I really here? What's the most enlightening thing I can do with my time? What can I do to live out my life's mission? When we are feeling into our sweet, supportive spiritual connection, we instantly stop complaining. We let go of our demanding, abrasive egos, and we start appreciating what is. Awakening the God source within is quite simple and really boils down to giving up our resistance to our connection with it. Giving up our resistance to our connection with it. I've talked to numerous people who have said, I'm afraid to go in there. They're afraid to go within. They don't know what's in there. How are you ever going to know what's in there unless you go in the unknown? As we investigate further inside ourselves, we can find places where we could start relaxing more about this life and opening our hearts to trusting in life more and more and more. The God source is everywhere. There is no place or time we can find to escape from it. The task, then, is all about letting go of our resistance to its great unending love. We resist that. Sometimes you see all kinds of stickers and signs and everything. A bumper sticker that said, life is the school and and love is the lesson. When we open the heart to trusting in the energy of deep eternal love, we begin learning the most important lesson we are here to learn. How to fully embrace, accept, and appreciate who and what we really are. We were not born to just tolerate our lives. We are here to celebrate, love, and embrace everyone and everything in it. We are here to celebrate, love, and embrace everyone and everything in it. When we stop dwelling on how we were wrong, how messed up we are, or wounded we are by our past, we create a space for love to flow in. Then we can start using our creative energy to enjoy feeling how deeply eternal loved we are and amazing it is to be alive. The secret to awakening the great God source within us begins with a sincere, secure willingness to let in love, to trust love, to allow love whenever given, and welcome the vibration of feeling lovable. This willingness is what allows us to stop defending and protecting ourselves from any possibility of future pain. We forget to be afraid of life. We forget to be afraid of life, of people, of taking risks, of creating intimacy, and getting hurt again. With just a little willingness to let in deep eternal love, we begin feeling more open, vulnerable, and excited to allow even more amazing and abundant experiences into our lives. This willingness to let in love is a huge step. And with it, we will realize just how beautiful, childlike, and tremendously innocent we truly are. This life is the greatest school there is. And it's always going to be teaching us what we most need to know about ourselves. The experience of letting in love is founded in the feeling of trusting life. The experience of letting in love is founded in the feeling of trusting this life. There is a part in us that wants to let love in and trust life more than anything, yet is skeptical, doubtful, prideful, or may not believe we are lovable. We may have 1,000 reasons not to trust in this life or in love. It may feel more honest that we doubt ourselves, others, and continue to protect ourselves from trusting in anyone or anything. This is how the connection to the God source gets blocked. It can be quickly shifted, however. And this happens by simply relaxing your body, mind, and being willing to trust and how good it feels to trust again slowly. You will actually become more trusting, more open, honest, available, receptive, and eventually start feeling in your soul's direct connection to the God source again. The singer exists only in singing. The walker exists only in walking. So is the ego. The ego exists only in clinging, in possessing things, in dominating things. When there is no domination, no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego starts evaporating. Osha. This is mastery over the ego. So try a little experiment with yourselves. Consider that your grand sole purpose in this life is simply to trust in every experience you're having within. Trust in every feeling, every thought, belief, emotion. Trust in your intuition and each situation you're part of. Trust so fully and deeply that everything inside of you relaxes completely. Watch how your mind and ego tend to resist trust at first, because they will. Yet in time, they will slowly dissolve into it. When your trust is absolute on the inner world, it will overflow into everyone in your outer world. Trust in yourself first. In what is occurring within you is the right experience you're learning the most from. Making trust bigger than the actual thought, judgment, or life experience is one of the quickest ways to find the God source within you. Right now, tell yourself that it is possible to trust in yourself 100% this week. This is something that every one of us should practice all the time, to trust in ourselves 100%. Imagine we are doing this and embracing the divine beings we all truly are. The simple energy of trusting in this life is the secret to opening the doorway to the deeply eternal loving God source. It's really not a tough job if we consider the other possible techniques others are doing to try and reach God. So I invite you, I challenge you, and I dare you to fully explore this experience of deep trust. Relax fully into it and let it spread all throughout your life. Take on this trusting invitation first thing in the morning. Feel that it's extremely safe to let down all your guards today and walk around with a receptive, trusting, heart-welcoming in life with a big smile. Try it for 24 hours and see what manifests. Explore the sensations of being open, welcoming, and accepting with all beings, animals, plants, situations, experiences, and material things. Just fake it until you make it, if you need to. As we relax into the moment and become more open and available to this life, all our fears, phobias, and pains from the past cannot be found anymore. They are like shadows that disappear when the sunlight enters. All of our hardness and skepticism melts into this sea of this divine trusting energy. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this simple trusting practice. It is powerful enough to transform yourself and everyone in your world. Now, there's another great understanding to instantly awaken your connection with the great God source within you. This is for those who find it absolutely impossible to let their guard down and trusting anything at all. Maybe you're one of these, maybe you're not, maybe you know someone who is. The sweetness is to enter the black hole of emptiness inside you and let it empty out yourself completely. Merge with the emptiness, and it will help you let go of everything. Surrender everything inside you and be free from everything. Let go of your attachment to everything, thought, and feeling you're having. Release your addictions, desires, compulsions, wishes, beliefs into the empty unknown. Throw everything inside yourself into the emptiness until you are 100% empty. You won't be disappointed at what happens next. This next experience that manifests in this emptying out process is very liberating. When you are total in your letting go, releasing it all into the emptiness, you create a fresh space for something brand new to enter you. When every hard, cold neurosis is out of the way, the pendulum tends to swing back towards feeling nurtured and nourished by this life. The soft, warm, loving presence of your own soul steps in, and you feel as if this life is holding you so closely and warmly and exquisitely. The emptiness suddenly becomes very full, and you feel as if you've become a newborn baby sucking on the great universal mother's breast. It feels good to know that the great sacred God source is here now, waiting patiently for all of us to empty ourselves out. This is one quick way to immediately reach into her. It's good to know that the magic of discovering the God source within happens in the simple, sweet presence of our own company. When we are truly alone, try out these techniques above, the ones I've just shared with you. Let yourself allow this awesome, indestructible God force pierce through your heart, soul, and consciousness. The pure God source energy is already penetrating all of us. We are simply not aware of it. The God source will never reject or deny us. It is always ready for us to open, wanting to move into us, and there's nothing we can do to change this. We must choose to always be aware, however, that the mind is always trying to make something happen. It will try to pave a straight, firm path towards what it thinks God is. Yet, it's this narrow mind habit which causes us to miss God every time. The universal God source is too empty, right? Too vast, deep, and enormous for the mind to contain. So the moment you empty your mind, let down your resistance to love, you discover how fun it is to bow down to the divine. It's in this moment that the God source flows into you. When you're the most surrendered, still, and in the most humble state of ecstasy. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Albert Einstein. The law of detachment means that in order to acquire everything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up your intention to create your desire. You do not give up the intention, and you do not give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. We all will go into that, the attachment. And we do it so often we don't know it. We're not aware of it. It's like, I'm going to be attached to all this. We attach. And we attach to outcomes of things, and we look forward to things. And, we say, well, then I can do this, 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 and this, and that's attaching to the outcome. Rather than just saying, I let it go, I have all the trust in myself and the universe will do it. It will manifest. It's already starting to manifest. But see, now the universe knows better than we do about ourselves. So see, this is why attachment is so dangerous, because when you attach to something, you have expectations. And then it doesn't happen, and you're let down and disappointed, and you suffer. Now, without attachments, you don't have expectations. You know it is manifesting. You know that you are moving energy into form, creating it into reality, and will experience it. That's manifesting. So when we direct our intent, awareness, clarity, and you say, universe, this is what I want. Bing, 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 bing. You let it go. You forget about it. And, not understanding that we're all Buddhas, right? A lot of us just don't know it. Attachment leads to suffering. Whenever we become attached to a desire, belief, thought, feeling, or anything for that matter, we needlessly suffer. The suffering arises because attachment is an energy born out of fear, lack, and disconnection to our source, our God source. We tighten our grip on certain desires because deep down we believe we need to manifest them in order to feel safe, happy, secure, and loved. This overly tight grip on this life simply means we are not feeling the natural connection in our hearts to the great healing source and spirit within ourselves. As long as the mind continues to circulate in this vicious attachment dilemma, we can never truly relax and fully access this ever-expanding, all-loving spiritual source, the God source, that radiates at our very core. Whenever happiness is determined by any thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it. Whenever happiness is determined by any thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it. And the great egoic cycle of suffering begins. Expectations and disappointments are great examples of how attachment leads to suffering. If the big desire we had today manifests or doesn't manifest, it then becomes the main leading cause of our happiness and unhappiness. The very instant we become attached to a thought, we end up forgetting about love, joy, freedom, and the endless possible things we can be thankful for. The grip onto any thought narrows and eventually blocks our energy, creativity, and vibration, so we cannot perceive any new ideas or options that are available. So perhaps we're asking ourselves, how can we be passionate about our desires in this life, and yet approach them in a non-attached, easygoing way. The discovery is the middle path. If and when we are too attached or too unattached to our desires, they won't manifest. We must choose to hold the baby bird in our hand, not too tight, or we'll suffocate it, and not too loose, or it will fly away. The real secret is finding our natural connection to the God Source that is always coming from trust and is free from worry and fear. Our desires have this natural tendency to manifest faster than the speed of light when we are walking down the middle of this road. Attachment is a habit that we learned from other people's thoughts. Attachment is a habit that we've learned from society. We are suffering because we are gripping too tightly or too loosely onto our thoughts. The mind gets hooked into beliefs that say, I don't have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Or the mind cannot hold long enough onto the idea feeling that I do have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Whatever we believe is what we create. That's the danger on this planet. Whatever we believe, we create. And thus, we manifest this amazing, effortless, manifesting adventure or a perpetual daily struggle to survive. Nothing else does that. We do. Period. Now, we do it either unconsciously or consciously. But we do it. It's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. Sheryl Crow. It's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. We've heard this in many different forms. The Buddha, Lao Tzu, Maitreya, many others. The secret to enlightenment is finding the middle path. To find the middle path, we must look within ourselves, stepping out of the periphery and towards our total center. The real work we are here to do is not just on the outer world, yet also the inner. All our outer struggling is a pointer directing us back inside. Suffering is a great teacher, showing us where not to go and what not to do anymore. Pain is like a hot poker, directing us back off and rest inside until we are finding the middle path. When we listen to our bodies, we can naturally find a way to loosen or tighten our grip on this life. And when this ultimate freedom simply finds us, it's quite magical how it all unfolds. This universe rewards us when we truly trust in it. If we want to see if we're too attached to a thought, just notice what's happening in your body. Whenever the mind becomes overly attached to any idea, a tension in the body forms when we think that thought. The more tension we have in our bodies, the less receptive we become to allowing that desire outcome into our lives. The mind tends to be a cling master and ultimate skeptic of life. It hasn't learned how to trust life, and so we need to retrain it. Whenever the mind thinks this universal power is not real, permanent, and trustworthy, we need to remind it that it is. When we can stop clinging to thoughts, things, feelings, people, and memories, we will begin to trust the universe will provide all our needs. We can stop working so hard. We can retire our illusions, take a rest from our daily worrying and fears. We can use our precious time appreciating and basking in the divine God source that is already here now. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Believe it or not, we are awake. Each moment there is aware energy here now. Know that this cannot change. Rest deeply in this knowingness. It will create a transformation in your being. It is exactly what you will need today for transcending your very next unconscious momentary lapse of mental jargon. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and following morning. We will return here Friday, August 26, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call.